Hello students, how are you all? Welcome to Tungal online classes. In the last session, we have started D block elements. So in that configuration, few physical properties we have completed. In this session, I am going to discuss the stability of oxidation states by standard electrode potentials. So trends in standard electrode potentials, that is from M plus 2 to M. M plus 2 means metal ion is converted into metal, that is called reduction. So standard reduction potential values. Before going to that, we should know few fundamental terms, that is, so from left to right, it means from scandium to zinc. This is a 3D series from scandium to zinc. So the size will be left one larger, right one smaller. Left to right size will be decreases. Okay, size decreases. It is size increases. Size increases, easy to remove electron. Then oxidation, Sc is converted into Sc plus by losing electron. Oxidation increases. Oxidation means SRP value will be negative for oxidation. We discussed in electrochemistry. Oxidation increases, SRP will be more negative. Very, very important. SRP will be more negative. Size decreases. It means oxidation, removal of electron decreases, removal of electron decreases, nothing but oxidation decreases, oxidation decreases, oxidation increases, more negative, oxidation decreases, SRP value will be less negative, also called more positive, more positive. Simply SRP values, you observe clearly, it's depending upon removal of electron or gaining of electron, right? So here metal is converted into M plus 2 electron. Plus 2 is the general oxidation state of transition elements. To stabilize the plus 2, oxygen electrons must be removed. Then to remove electrons, nothing but oxidation. So obviously for oxidation, SRP value will be negative. Getting? This is the information you should remember first of all. Now, how to convert this metal solid into M plus 2 aqueous one? How do convert? So there are three phenomena. First of all, metal solid converted into metal gas. It is called sublimation. This is called enthalpy of sublimation. The heat required is called enthalpy for sublimation. Metal gas again converted into metal gaseous ion by losing electron. So if lost 2 electron plus 2, then amount of energy required to remove the electron from gaseous atom called ionization enthalpy. It is ionization enthalpy. Next one is, after that, M gaseous plus 2 to, okay, what is that? M aqueous, it is plus 2, M aqueous plus 2. So it means aqueous, water is added, the amount of energy released by hydration is called, so this is enthalpy of hydration. It is getting? So these three required. It means from metal solid into metal aqueous plus, it means the oxidation state in aqueous medium to stabilize, there are three factors. One is sublimation, another one is ionization enthalpy, another one is hydration enthalpy. So for this I can take total, it is enthalpy. Total enthalpy means, students, there are three steps. So total enthalpy is equal to, one is sublimation enthalpy plus another one is ionization enthalpy plus, another one is hydration enthalpy. If you take these three phenomena, then only metal solid is converted into metal gaseous ion. Ion means in this oxidation state it will be existed and stable. So now sublimation means amount of energy required, that's why positive. So ionization means amount of energy required, that's why positive. Hydration means amount of energy will be released, that's why negative. Sublimation is positive. Ionization is also positive. Hydration is negative. Getting all of you? Yes. You just observe clearly, M is converted into M plus 2. So there are two things. One is with the 10 joules converted into plus 2 state, stable. Otherwise with 100 joules also converted into plus 2 state. It means which is more stable? With 10 joules, the metal is converted into plus 2. Very easy to convert the metal into plus 2 oxidation state, stable. But in the second case, you need to give 100 joules. Very difficult to form M plus 2 from M. That's why this total decreases. If decreases, plus 2 oxidation state will be increases, right? So it should be decreases. To decrease this, positive value decreases, this value also decreases, and this value will be increases. Very, very important. Sublimation, less energy required, here also less, here more. It means, observe clearly, with less energy converted into gas, with less energy converted into gaseous ion, and easily hydrated more, immediately forms M plus 2. More hydrated means more negative value, releasing value is more. It means with less energy, then metal converted into gaseous and gaseous ion, and more hydrated, then forms a negative value. Getting all of you? So this value must be lower, this must be lower, this must be higher. So positive less, required one less, released more, that's the meaning. Then this will be less. Getting all of you? Yes. Now you just observe clearly. Delta H total decreases by, if decreases, what happened? Actually, M plus 2 will be formed, easily formed. It means metal converted into M plus 2 aqueous immediately, and metal stable in M plus 2 oxidation state in aqueous medium, M to M plus 2 means it is oxidation, it means SRP value will be negative. SRP value negative. M to M plus 2 means. You have to remember one thing, students. So sublimation value decreases, ionization enthalpy value must be lower, and hydration enthalpy value must be higher. Then what is that? Delta total will be, what is that? Lower. Delta total will be lower. Then, so what will be happen, students? Then SRP value will be negative, it's more negative, oxidation, hence, so plus 2 or stable, metals stable in their higher oxidation state, then metal stable in M plus 2 aqueous. Understood? Their stability is depending upon electrode potentials. Now you just observe clearly from left to right, oxidation, left one is larger, right one is smaller, SRP value will be more negative, less negative. So we will write the trend, students. Now in 3D series from left to right, yes, from left to right in 3D series. Okay, oxidation value will be, oxidation decreases. SRP value, it means standard reduction potential value will be more negative to less negative, more negative to less negative. Generally in 3D series, the standard reduction potential values are variable, not in a regular trend, because the sublimation enthalpies and ionization enthalpies are not in a regular manner, they are irregular, somewhere lower, somewhere higher. So, generally the SRP values of 3D series are not regular, irregular because of irregular variation in sublimation enthalpy and ionization enthalpy values. If sublimation and ionization gradually decreases or gradually SRP values will be changes, but these will be not gradually. Now, for example, this is the graphical representation between SEP, standard electrode potential versus atomic number, very important. Now, so this is -2, -1, 0, now it is +1, like that. Then in the beginning increases, decreases, increases, decreases, and again it is like this. So this is for copper actually, +1 it is. It is copper, it is titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, right? Chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, zinc, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc it is. 3D series elements. Copper only has a positive electrode potential value, remaining all are having negative values. Except copper, remaining 3D series elements, SEP value, it means standard electrode potential values are negative. Negative means undergoes oxidation, acts as reducing agent, themselves involved in oxidation and act as reducing agents, except copper, right? So what is the reason for that? We'll see. Copper shows which value, that is a positive value. Copper shows positive SRP value, but remaining elements shows negative SRP values. Okay. Now, here if you observe, we need ionization enthalpy decreases, sublimation enthalpy must be decreased, then only total will be decreased, then only SRP value will be negative. But the reverse one is, so here sublimation enthalpy value increases, hydration enthalpy value will be decreases. Because of that reverse, SRP will be positive. The answer for that question is, okay, that is the right answer is for copper. Enthalpy of atomization is very high due to enthalpy of atomization. A indicates atomization. It is nothing but enthalpy of sublimation. It is equal to, is very high, and okay, what is that? Hydration enthalpy value will be, what happened here, decreases, then delta total H will be increases. So hence SEP value will be positive instead of negative. Reverse one it is for copper. One mark question, very important. So copper acting as Okay, remaining element acting as reducing agent because of negative SRP. Copper can not act as a reducing agent. It means copper cannot liberate hydrogen gas from HCl. So, but remaining elements can. But remaining can. For example, 2m plus HCl gives rise to 2mCl plus H2 gas. Yes, except copper, because m converted into m plus 2 it is. It means oxidation itself acting as a reducing agent, except copper it is, right. Next, after that, for few elements, if you observe clearly, for manganese, as per graph, for manganese, for nickel and for zinc, the SRP values are a little higher than expected. Yes, for manganese, zinc and nickel, the SEP values are little high than expected. Reason behind this, for manganese 4s2 3d5, for zinc 4s2 3d10, exceptional configuration. So due to stable d5 for manganese and d10 configuration for zinc, and enthalpy of atomization and high hydration enthalpy of nickel. Because of these reasons, if stable configuration is there, ionization enthalpy value will be increases. It means to remove electron, more energy required, ionization increases. Then it will be reverse than expected. So for these stable configurations, ionization enthalpy value increases, SEP will be increases, but not negative. Negative but less negative. It means increases. Getting all of you? Yes, this is a very, very important. You just follow this. So it is m to m plus 2, m plus 2 to m. It means 2 electrons gained. M plus 3 to m, yes, trends in standard electrode potentials when m plus 3 converted into m plus 2. It means manganese plus 3 to manganese plus 2, chromium plus 3 to chromium plus 2, Fe plus 3 to Fe plus 2. In that, how the standard electrode potentials are affected. So so we can say that E naught of Sc plus 3 to Sc plus 2 is less. Less means Sc plus 3 converted into Sc plus 2 it is. Okay? Plus 3 to plus 2. Already scandium configuration is 4s2 3d1. Plus 3 means 2 plus 1, 3 electrons removed, hence it is 4s0 3d0, stable students. If it gain 1 electron, 1 minus and plus 3 becomes plus 2. 1 minus and plus 3 becomes plus 2. Then it is 4s1, it is unstable. Okay, students? Already stable, it will not gain electron. Not gaining means not reduction. Not reduction means positive. Not reduction means less. So hence, so low SRP. It means not gaining. Already Sc plus 3 is stable. Next one, Mn plus 3 to Mn plus 3 is very high. Mn plus 3 to Mn plus 2 is very high. Why? E naught of Mn plus 3 to Mn plus 2 is very high. Reason why we should learn. Mn plus 3 is converted into Mn plus 2. Generally, by gaining one electron, it is Mn configuration is 4s2 3d5. Plus 3 means 3 electrons must be removed. So 2 from S, 1 from this. So it is 4s0 3d4. Plus 2 means it gains one more electron, then becomes 4s0 3d5. D4 is unstable, D5 is stable. Getting, students? So to get stability, it is gaining electron, it means it undergoes reduction. Reduction means SRP value is very high. For reduction, standard reduction potentials are very high. So itself involved in reduction. So Mn plus 3 acts as oxidizing agent, because itself involved in reduction. Such compound is called oxidizing agent. Reduction means SRP value is very high, very high. Getting, all of you? It's very, very important. Remaining acting as Mn plus 3 acting as what is that? Oxidizing agent. Very, very important. Ti plus 2, Cr plus 2, Fe plus 3, Ti plus 2, Cr plus 2. Next, afterwards, V plus 2, V plus 2. So titanium configuration is 4s2 3d, or what is that? 2. It is stable in Ti plus 4. Yes, Ti plus 2 to Ti plus 4. Cr plus 2 to Cr plus 6. V plus 2 to V plus 5. It is stable, stable. So it is also stable. So these are unstable, students. These are all unstable. Unstable ions to stable ions by losing electrons, by losing 2 electrons. It is 2 by losing 2 more electrons plus 4. It is plus 2 by losing 4 electrons becomes plus 4 electrons becomes what is that? Plus 6. By losing 3 electrons becomes what is that? Plus 5. Losing means oxidation. So themselves involved in oxidation. Hence acting as, yes, hence, so Ti plus 2, Cr plus 2, V plus 2 acts as themselves involved in oxidation, and they act as a reducing agent. Very, very important. 1 mark question it is. Okay, right. Simply reactivity. Finally, chemical reactivity. Chemical reactivity. Very, very important. Chemical reactivity depends on oxidation, the important one. For oxidation, SRP value is negative. SRP value is negative. Getting, all of you? So from left to right in series, SRP values will be less negative. From left to right in 3D series, SRP value left will be more negative and less negative. More negative means more reactive, and less negative means less reactive. So understood the relation, students? So SRP value negative oxidation, oxidation increases M to M plus 2. Plus 2 means positive ions, ions are more reactive. Getting, all of you? Yes. This is standard reduction potential values. Why Cu plus 2 ion is not stable than Cu plus 2 ion? That is 1 mark question, students. Okay, textbook question. Why Cu plus 1 is not stable in aqueous solution, is not stable in aqueous solution? Very, very important. 2 marks question. Cu plus 1 is not stable, but Cu plus 2 is more stable. Why? The reason is, yes, Cu plus 1 is configuration, copper configuration is 4s, okay, 1 3d10 actually. Plus 1 means 1 must be removed from this, 4s0 3d10. Then next one is Cu plus 2. Plus 2 means 2 must be removed, then 4s 0, 3d10 becomes 3d9. 3d9 means unstable. Now it is stable. Even then, stable configuration is there, plus 1 is not stable, plus 2 is more stable. So this is wrong, this is stable, and this is wrong, this is unstable. This is wrong, this is right. Reason is because here more ionization energy is required to remove the electron from 3D because of stable configuration. Ionization enthalpy value increases. Even then ionization enthalpy value increases, but the hydration enthalpy value will be compensate or balances the which one ionization enthalpy. It means, so the more releasing hydration enthalpy will balance the required ionization enthalpy. That's why the reason behind is, yes, even though ionization enthalpy value is very high for which one, that is Cu plus 1, this will be compensated by high hydration enthalpy. Hence, okay, Cu plus 1 will be disproportionate. It means in aqueous medium into Cu plus 2, It means 2 Cu plus 1 gives rise to Cu plus 2 plus Cu. It means one undergoes oxidation, another one undergoes reduction. So one element only undergoes oxidation as well as reduction. It will not existed as a Cu plus 2. Hence, Cu plus 2 is more stable than Cu plus 1, even though it has a stable electronic configuration as per standard electrode potential values. Very, very important. This is about chemical reactivity, students. Afterwards, trends in stability of oxidation states in fluorides especially. Yes, next topic is trends in the stability of higher oxidation states in halides. Yes. The next topic is trends in stability of oxidation states in halides especially. How halides can stabilize the oxidation states of transition elements. Now, halides. So 3D series elements treated with halogen then forms halides. Scandium, titanium, vanadium. Titanium is there if you observe. TiX2, TiX4. So vanadium, ViX2, vanadium difluoride, vanadium trifluoride, vanadium tetrafluoride, vanadium pentafluoride. Next, chromium, CrF2, it means difluoride, CrX3, CrX4, CrX5, CrX6, up to hexafluoride. Manganese is there, MnX2, MnX3 maximum. It will not form pentahalides like that. After that, iron is there, FeX2 and FeX3, only difluoride. Cobalt also COX2 and COX3. Next one, after that nickel only forms NiX2 and copper only forms CiX-CuX2 and zinc forms only ZnX2. So here you just observe clearly. Titanium plus 4 is the stable oxidation state. So vanadium plus 5 is the stable oxidation state. Chromium plus 6 is the stable oxidation state. But for manganese, plus 7 is the oxidation state, but MnX7 is not possible. So here MnO3F along with oxygen only in higher oxidation state possible here. The reason behind is, you just observe students, left to right. So higher oxidation state increases followed by decreases, because D1 to D5, 5 unpaired electrons, D5 to D10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, last class we discussed. Oxidation state increases, decreases, because unpaired electrons increases followed by decreases. That's why. So left to right, oxidation state in higher halides will be decreases. In higher halides will be decreases. The reason behind this, from left to right, no element shows. So higher oxidation state with halides. No, after what is that, manganese, no halide shows higher oxidation state. Higher oxidation state. Only plus 2, plus 3, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, like that. Because of small size. Because of small size. And decrease in the oxidation state. Okay. So Mn, manganese, only forms Mn plus 3, MnF3 maximum. It will not form MnF7, MnF6 like that. So it will not form halides in higher oxidation state. Higher oxidation state. Reason is it is MnO3F, 3 into minus 2 minus 6, it is minus 1, minus 7 must be equal to 0, means manganese will be plus 1. In plus 7 oxidation state, MnO3F only formed because oxygen forms which one, that is double bond, and fluorine in MnF7, fluorine has, each fluorine has 3 lone pairs on it. Fluorine is 17th group element, 1 electron involved in bond formation and 3 pairs of electrons are present, 3 lone pairs. More repulsions. It means, students, 7 into 3, 21 lone pairs are present in MnF7, hence more lone pairs, more repulsions. That's why MnF7 is not possible. Mn3O only possible for us. Right? Next. After that, okay. Copper exhibits especially plus 1 or plus 2 oxidation state. Copper shows plus 1 or plus 3 oxidation state, plus 2. Yes, Cu shows Cu plus 1 or Cu plus 2. Plus 1 is unstable, plus 2 is more stable. Copper halides are especially, so if you observe, so CuCl2, here CuCl2, CuBr2 and CuF2 only possible. CuF2 only possible. CuF2 only possible. In which oxidation state? Cu plus 2 oxidation state. So 2 into minus 1 minus 2 must be equal to 0, means plus 2. 2 into minus 1 minus 2 must be equal to 0, means plus 2. So plus 2 oxidation state here. So but not what is that, CuI2, because the I minus when treated with Cu plus 2 becomes I2 but not CuI2. The reason is Cu plus 2 oxidizes because Cu plus 2 oxidizes I minus into I2. It means Cu plus 2 plus 4I minus gives rise to Cu2 I2 plus I2. So here 2 moles you have to take. I minus converted into I2 only, but not Cu I2, because Cu plus 2 is more stable than this one. Right, students? Now halides reactivity point of view. Reactivity of halides. Reactivity of halides. So you know already halides. Fluorine greater than, chlorine greater than, bromine greater than iodine. We know already. Fluorides are more stable than chlorides, bromides, iodides, because fluorine is smaller. Then the central D block elements can accommodate more number of fluorines on this. Yes, fluorides are more stable than other halides because of its small size, Getting all of you, students? Fluorides only. And if you observe the character of these fluorides, the character is fluoride and chloride, bromide and iodide. It means when this is treated with metal, then forms metal fluorides, metal chlorides, metal bromides and metal iodides. So that may be MnCl2, MnBr3, FeCl3, FeBr2, whatever it is. Fluorine is most electronegative and metal is more electropositive. Obviously, it is ionic. Iodine will be covalent. You just observe, fluorides are more ionic than chlorides and bromides. It is ionic nature. Okay. Covalent nature will be reverse. Metal iodides are more covalent than metal fluorides. That is reverse one. So these are chlorides and ions. Okay. Next, oxidation state increases in halides. Oxidation state means nothing but charge increases, covalent nature increases. So charge decreases, charge means oxidation state decreases, ionic nature will be increases. Examples, simple examples. MnF2, MnF3. Mn will be plus 1, it will be minus 1. Plus 2, it is minus 2. Plus 3, minus 3. 3 into minus 1, minus 3. So charge increases, covalent nature will be increases. So this is covalent nature order. Mn plus F3 is more covalent than MnF. So we know this point already, we read. Next, afterwards, these are all under halides and their nature and stability of halides in their higher oxidation states. Next one is oxides of D block elements or transition elements. Right. Oxides. Oxides means these series of elements react with the oxygen, then forms oxides. Scandium, stable in plus 3 oxidation state. Titanium plus 4. Vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. It is plus 5, plus 3, plus 6 oxidation state. Plus 7, plus 2, plus 2, plus 3, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. Zn plus 2 stable, Cu plus 2 stable, Fu plus 2 stable, Fu plus 3 also stable, Mn plus 7, Mn plus 2 stable. It means Sc2O3. 3 into minus 2 minus 6 must be shared by 2 atoms, minus 3 must be equal to 0 means plus 3. TiO2, V2O5, CrO3, 3 into minus 2 minus 6 must be equal to 0 means plus 6. Mn2O7, FeO or Fe2O3, COO or NiO, CuO, ZnO. Right, students? These are the oxides. So here in oxides also oxidation state increases followed by decreases because of number of unpaired electrons increases followed by decreases. This oxidation state is third B, it is fourth B, fifth B, sixth B, seventh B, eighth B, ninth, like that. It means oxidation state is equal to group number. Oxidation state is equal to group number. That too it is higher oxidation state, very very important. It is not lower oxidation state. Higher oxidation state is equal to group number. These oxides are more stable in their higher oxidation state. Not only oxides, even oxocations also stable in their higher oxidation state. Not only oxides, even oxocations can also show higher oxidation state for 3D series elements. Example, VO2 plus, it is X, we don't know, 2 oxygens minus 2 for each oxygen is equal to plus 1. Charge is plus 1, that's why equals to plus 1. X minus 4 equal to plus 1, X equal to plus 2, plus 5. It means plus 5 oxidation state in oxocation as well as oxide. Similarly, TiO plus 2. Here titanium will be plus 4, you will get. Solve like this, students. So not only this, even by which one that is, okay. Now the important point is, students, as it is information, oxidation state increases in oxides than in halides, because in oxides double bond formation takes place. Very very important. That's why more stable in higher oxides, oxidation state. Next important one is in oxides. Oxidation state increases, nothing but charge increases. Which nature? That is covalent nature. Charge increases, obviously, so more acidic it is. Acidic nature will be increases. Oxidation state decreases. Charge, nothing but charge decreases. So what is that? Ionic compound. The compound is ionic nature increases. So oxidation state increases, okay. It is basic nature will be increases. Oxidation state increases, acidity increases, covalent nature also increases. Oxidation state decreases, basic oxide. One simple example I am taking, students. VO, V2O3, VO2, VO, V2O3, VO2 and V2O5. VO means plus 2 oxidation state, plus 3, plus 4 and plus 5. Getting vanadium oxidation states in these oxides are these, okay. These two are lower oxidation state. This is a higher oxidation state, it is moderate. Lower oxidation state, basic. These oxides are basic and these are ionic. Higher oxidation state, it is acidic. This is covalent oxide. Very very important. This is moderate, that's why amphoteric. It is amphoteric. Getting all of you, students? So oxidation state increases, covalent nature and acidic nature will be increases. So very very important, just follow this clearly. With this, oxides and the stability of which one, that is oxidation state in oxides and fluorides, we have completed. Few more properties we discuss now. D block elements can show various properties. Till now we have discussed oxidation states and chemical reactivity. So now magnetic properties, alloys, color, different properties we will discuss. In that the first one is magnetic properties. So these elements can show various magnetic properties like diamagnetic, paramagnetic, different magnetic properties. Especially these magnetic properties due to the spin of unpaired electrons around the nucleus. That magnetic moment is named as a spin only magnetic moment. Magnetic properties due to unshared electron spin. So it is indicated as spin only magnetic moment. Spin only magnetic moment determined by net magnetic moment, that is equal to root n into n plus 2. There is a formula for this, where n is equal to number of unshared electrons. Unshared electron nothing but single electron it is. It means not a paired electron, it is a single electron. So you just substitute, then you will get the answer. Examples, it is a 2 marks question, very important. So calculate magnetic moment of the following. Okay. So example is, first example, that is scandium plus 3. For this, what is the magnetic moment? You know the scandium configuration 4s2 3d1. Scandium plus 3 means 3 electrons must be removed, 2 from S, 1 from D. Then S2 becomes S0, 3D becomes 3D0. No unpaired electron where n is equal to 0. Then if you put 0 in this formula, that is equal to 0 into 0 plus 2, finally becomes 0. No net magnetic moment for this. Next one, net magnetic moment of Fe plus 3 should be considered. So for iron, configuration is 4s2 3d6. So Fe plus 3 means need to remove 3 electrons. 2 from S first becomes 4s0, 1 from D becomes D5, 3d5. D5 means, so how many electrons are there? Totally 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 are unpaired electrons where n is equal to 5. Substitute this n value in this formula, root n into n plus 2, n is equal to 5. 5 plus 2, 7, 7 5 is 35. So root 35, it is nothing but 5.9. Just observe clearly, if it is 5, the value will be 5.9. If it is 4, 4.9. If it is 3, 3.9. If it is 2, 2.9. So by looking itself, you can easily measure the magnetic moment. So different ions given, you just verify and solve all magnetic moment problems, right? Okay, the next property is formation of colored ions by the D block elements or transition elements. Why the color shown by the D block elements? So the electron which is present in d orbital will be excited to the higher d orbital and again de-excited to the lower d orbitals. It means higher to lower energy absorbed, lower to higher energy absorbed, higher to lower energy will be released in the form of electromagnetic radiation in a visible region. That radiation shows some color, so that's what we can observe. Now in presence of ligands, in presence of water, nothing but act as a ligand, these d orbitals will be split up. So now aqueous copper sulfate is blue color, but anhydrous copper sulfate is colorless. In aqueous copper sulfate, water is available. This water act as a ligand. Then this water split the d orbitals into lower and higher. Then transitions takes place. Obviously, aqueous copper sulfate is in blue color. Anhydrous means there is no water, no ligand, no splitting of d orbitals, no dd transitions. One more thing, dd transitions are only possible when unpaired electrons are there. If electrons are paired, no dd transitions, no color, it is colorless compound. Best example, CuSO4 is colored, ZnSO4 is colorless. In ZnSO4, Zn plus 2 configuration is 4s0 3d10. All are paired, no unpaired electron, that's why colorless. Here 3d9 for Cu plus 2, there is one single electron, that's why it is colored. So the color for the transition elements is due to dd transitions because of unpaired electrons. Okay, next property is, okay, so the next property of transition elements is formation of complex. Complex means a metal ion can combine with various ligands, then forms a complex also called a coordinate compound it is because of coordinate covalent bond. So this metal ion is a d block element combined with neutral or negative molecules, then forms a complex. It is called coordinate covalent compound. So now what is the reason for the formation of complexes or coordinate compounds by the d block elements? Because of their small size, and they can show variable oxidation states, nothing but ionic charge, and in that there is an availability of d orbitals. Hence, they can exhibit the complexes like iron central atom 6 cyanides, cobalt central atom 6 ammonias. So this is a topic we have discussed clearly in which one, that is coordinate compounds or complex compounds, a separate chapter already completed. So this is what a small information given in this chapter. Next property is, okay, the next property is catalytical property. It means d block elements or transition element act as catalyst. So to speed up a chemical reactions, the function of catalyst is to speed up a chemical reaction. So what is the reason for the catalytic activity of these elements? Transition elements having a variable oxidation state +2 to +7, and they can form complexes, and they will provide a suitable surface area. So they will provide suitable surface area, and reactants will be interact with each other on that suitable surface area, and reactants interaction increases, rate of reaction will be increases, the reaction will be faster. Best example, iodine is converted into I2, S2O8 is converted into sulfate. So in the presence of a catalyst called Fe+3 ion, in the first step it converts the I- to I2, itself converted into Fe+2. In the second step, again +2 becomes +3, and S2O8 converted into SO4-2. Initially we have taken +3, finally also we are getting +3. It means catalyst not involved in reaction but speed up a chemical reaction. It does not change. Many examples we read in the p block elements chapter. Iron acting as a catalyst in the preparation of ammonia by Haber's process. Vanadium pentoxide used as a catalyst in the preparation of sulfuric acid in contact process. Okay, next. Okay, the next property is formation of interstitial compounds. Interstitial compound means this is a metal, these are the atoms in close packing in a particular metal in a great order. So that's called a solid. Okay. So in between these metal ions or atoms there is a gap. This gap is called interstitial space. This gap is called interstitial space. So in that gap, non-metals very small like hydrogen, carbon, boron, nitrogen will be trapped. Then forms a new compound that is called interstitial compound. So these interstitial compounds when trapped by non-metals in metal, so those are non-stoichiometric because their composition is not in a particular manner. For example, vanadium hydride. Actually hydrogen must be 1, but it is 0.56. 0.44 is less. Here actually TiH2 must be there, but 1.7, 0.3 is not available. So such compounds are non-stoichiometric compounds because of interstitial positions. The bonds present in interstitial compounds are neither ionic nor covalent, typically different kind of bonds. The characteristics of interstitial compounds are, these are very hard and rigid fixed one, and high melting point, chemically inert and good conductors because of the ions trapped in the which one, that is interstitial positions. The last property in this D block elements is Li formation. Mixture of two or more metals called Li, we know already. So why alloys are required for us? To prevent the corrosion, to increase the hardness of our compound. So we will mix one metal with another metal, then forms Li. So iron alloys are there, many alloys. Iron combined with chromium, vanadium, molybdenum, manganese, then forms different kinds of steels and stainless steels. Those are named as iron alloys. So many alloys are there: brass, bronze, German silver, gunmetal, bell metal. These are all, they give very few: copper and zinc, copper and stannous, bronze, brass. Okay. So what is the reason for alloy formation? So to increase the resistance and to increase the hardness. Because of availability of unpaired electrons and variable oxidation states, there is a chance to form alloys. Next one is finally uses of transition elements. These are all metals in our day-to-day life. Iron we are using, many oxides, catalysts. So whatever we discussed as a property, those are all under uses for transition elements. With this D block elements completed, so the next topic in this chapter is F block elements. We will continue in the next video.